The mortgage servicing industry is very difficult to understand. Building something from the ground up is not something that we do every single day, right? This doesn't happen. Codvo has really stepped up.
Hello, Judith. How are you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Well, welcome to Codvo.
Thank you.
Coming all the way here, we really appreciate it, and it means a lot to us to have you here with us. And today we'd love to kind of take this moment to, since we have you here, talk a little bit about your own background, your own journey, and of course the work we have done together. But let's begin by a little bit about how you have kind of traveled into the mortgage space and seen that space evolve, background into mortgage and how it has evolved over the last 10, 12 years.
So I fell into the mortgage industry by accident. I was more into utilities and auto finance. My experience has been in technology, supporting those industries. And while I was at one of my employers, I was primarily responsible for auto finance, and then I got into the mortgage industry because I had the skill set in terms of technology to be able to support them. And so after 4 years of work and supporting the mortgage industry, I was actually supporting both in parallel, mortgage and auto finance. And so I shifted a little bit more into the mortgage industry. It was more complex, and it brought more challenges. It made me think more.
Right.
And so having that skill set and building on that, it was very easy to move to another location.
Yeah.
And I've been moving from one mortgage servicer to another and kind of building my skill set. So in the industry now for 20 years.
Excellent. And my interaction with you over the last year and a half or so, I've told you a few times before that I've been really amazed at the depth of knowledge and command you have, specifically on the omni-channel space, and it's a highly regulated industry, and
Absolutely.
Every step you take has to be well thought out. So really appreciate your insights on that.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about the journey we've been having for the last year and a half, building a brand new servicing environment. It's not every day we get an opportunity to do so. So let's a little bit talk about that.
It is a very unique opportunity to build everything from the ground up.
Yeah.
And I've had the privilege to do it a couple of times.
Wow.
This is my fourth time having to build everything from the ground up. And I'm also very fortunate to have leaders around me and other experts who trust me, who trust my judgment and my knowledge, and my entire team. And with my entire team comes my technology integration teams, right? I have to see that they have the right skill set, the right experience, and the right aptitude to be able to support what we're building.
Yeah. But still, just how's the journey been? I know you've done this before, but still each time is different. So how's it been different this time, and what are some of the big moments so far?
That's a really great question. So if I get to compare my current experience and the times that we live in with the technology that exists today in comparison to what we had even 5 years ago, right? 7 years ago, everything is a lot faster.
Yeah.
So we are building something absolutely complex in the mortgage servicing space with some of the greatest technology in 2025, something we didn't have even 4 years ago. And we're building it a lot faster now.
Yes.
So we're able to build things that are compliant, that are sustainable, in a faster way. We are more efficient. We are also using less resources. So my experience with over the last almost 2 years, I can't even measure it.
Yeah.
Everything is moving so fast,
Yeah.
day over day, right? So for the last almost 2 years, as I was doing vendor selection, I had to make sure that the vendors that we were selecting were going to bring in the right talent for the technology that we want to integrate in mortgage servicing.
Yeah.
So it's actually been a very thrilling experience.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I remember when we first interacted and how ambitious the vision was, and how we wanted to make sure that we have not only built, 1 year down the road, starting from initial just scratching and writing the requirements for what we wanted to capture, to make sure that whatever we end up building is future ready.
Absolutely.
And it's set up for servicing in 2025, and it's actually a kind of a example for the industry to emulate. So what are your thoughts, since we started with that kind of goal? You think how far we have come towards that goal and how far we have to go?
So you're correct. When we first met and we put on the table, this is what we need.
Yeah.
Do you have what it takes
Yes.
to help us get to where we want to be, right? So we had a vision, and it was the right vision. Now it was a matter of integrating the right technology vendor to help us accomplish that vision. And so far, I can tell you that not only did we bring in the talent, but we also brought in people who cared, people who took on or were willing to enter into our own chaos. Because building something from the ground up is not something that we do every single day, right?
Yes.
This doesn't happen very frequently. I can say that Codvo has really stepped up to be able to integrate the talent with our vision, to be able to understand what we were trying to do. The mortgage servicing industry is very difficult to understand.
Yes.
Especially because of all of the compliance and all of the guardrails that have to go around everything that we engineer, everything that we develop, everything that we test. There has to be a reason why for everything. And there is so much context. And being able to understand the context is very hard. And you have to be on the right mindset to understand what it means to build technology to support mortgage servicing. And so where we are right now, it's actually pretty great. I mean, we've accomplished so many things so quickly. We are building very sustainable solutions that can be stripped out very easily. And so looking into the future, we're looking at what else can we incorporate into our omni-channel solutions that are permanent and truly integrated. Instead of having siloed technology, we're building everything in one. That's what omni-channel technology is, right? Everything connects. And we're focusing a lot on the customer experience, of course. So customer experience comes first, supported by agent experience, which is very important.
Absolutely.
The agent experience, all of our frontline staff who are helping us support the customer with the technology that we're integrating is what's going to differentiate us from our peers in the industry. Do we have the right technology? Do we have the right vendors to help us integrate that technology that support the frontline staff and in turn support the customer? And so looking at the customer experience, just looking at it from a high level overview. So we're building technology that at the end of the day help us help other people. We're keeping more people at home in their homes. Okay.
No, that's really wonderful, and I think we really kind of highly underscored. End of the day, despite all the excitement around technology and people, it's important to keep in mind who are we building this for.
That's right.
And I think the goal is to keep more people in their homes, service them better. People who are taken the their mortgages with us.
That's
and
right.
I think small things, including the experience of the agent and staying compliant, is very critical to ensuring that we serve them the best we possibly can. So to build on that, I think there were a few things that you brought in, and we over the course of this development, that was really not part of the normal conversation of the omni-channel development. Things like, bringing in AI into the play more for internal use. Obviously, we have to be extremely compliant to the mortgage industry needs. But how did you come up with the suggestion around using something like NeoPulse to be able to give you real-time notifications around what's happening in the system, and the entire management can stay abreast with whatever. So what was the thought process behind that?
Another very good question. Sustainable technology and the guardrails around it are very important in the big picture. We need to make sure that all systems are up and running at all times. We want to make sure that the customer experience isn't negative at any point of the day. And so, like for instance, in inbound IVR solution, we want to make sure that the IVR is up and running 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year. Any customer can call us at any time to be able to self-serve. And it isn't just the experience through an IVR prompt solution. Is the IVR up and running? Do I have the answer for the customer? And if I don't have the answer for the customer right now, how do I get that, right? And so if an IVR is not running when I need it to run, so for instance, on the beginning of the month, the start of the month, the 15th of the month, when customers really need it, I need technology that tells me that my system is running when I need it to run.
Yeah.
And it needs to run for the customer.
Yeah, it's probably going to be first in the industry to bring in such real-time availability of information and even applying AI to that. The other thing that course of this implementation, we brought in was discussion around call summarization and drawing, some of the maybe mundane but very essential work out of the life, day-to-day activity of agents, summarizing, note-taking, compliance, and then gleaning a lot of intent and intelligence from those calls. So I know we're working on that with you guys, but again, we'd love to hear from you. What do you think is the value of that, and how that's going to make CMG's implementation better?
And again, that focuses on the customer experience. We want when the customer transfers into the call center, we want an agent to be available to speak with them instead of having long wait times. We want them to, as they opt to transfer in, we want the agent to be ready and be available. So how does that happen? The agent needs to be ready. And it isn't by having an overstaff to answer phones. It's by having staff that are efficient and that are fast. But how are they going to be efficient and fast? By bringing in these tools, right? We have to give them the tools that they need to do their job faster, efficient, and accurate. And so bringing in like customization or putting in front of them the tools and resources to answer questions by themselves without having to raise their hand or without having to call a different line to get an answer, they can be prompt. They can just enter the question, get the answer with intelligence built behind. So agents are faster and more efficient because they have
intelligence on their fingertips.
They have intelligence, yes.
Using generative AI, and call summarization is the beginning of that. But our intent is to give them more real-time data that is relevant to that particular call.
100%.
So I think that's probably what you were trying to say.
Right, yes, I was trying to say that. So you're correct. Giving the agents the tools and resources that they need to answer questions alone without having to go to someone else. And having that technology at their fingertips, right? And so calls are handled faster. We have better efficiencies. We have less talk times. We have better average handle times. And when that happens, they get to answer more of those customers who are transferring into the call center.
Not only we want to build a strong omni-channel technology in place, but we want to overlay that with the layers of intelligence, in the form of GenAI and other things that we can do to make the life of agent even more efficient so that they can focus on what's important,
Absolutely.
which is serving the customer. So how would you consider, your journey with Codvo, in particular? I know you had other players helping us. It was not, but how was that journey? And what would you think? Did we live up to what you had originally thought of? Did we underperformed, overperformed? What do you think? To be very candid with you.
Codvo took the time to understand the complexity of the work that we were that was ahead of us, right? And they brought in the right partner. Well, we can consider you the right partner because of the talent that you have within your company. And not only did you bring the talent, but you brought the talent with empathy.
Yes.
And that's very important.
Yes.
And so over the last 1.5 years with Codvo, we've built absolutely great relationships.
Oh, that's very excellent. Well, I again want to thank you, Judith, and the entire management team of CMG for giving us, trusting us with such a critical project. And I'm glad that empathy has been one of the core values of the company. So I'm glad that you felt it, and the team has led with that. We look forward to be your partner and supporting you in this journey. And like I said, thank you so much for all your support, and thank you for making the trip. Your team is eagerly waiting to meet you, and I welcome you back.
Likewise, and thank you for having me.
Thank you.